Hi everybody, it is Sherry with the Empowered Oily Owl, and I'm making a new video of my deodorant recipe because I've changed it up a little bit. So for those of you that know, like when I went non-toxic and I went to using chemical-free products and making my own or searching for ones for my family that I could buy that were absent of all the bad things, and I'm going to tell you about all the bad things that are in deodorant in just 1 minute. Deodorant was one of the ones that I really struggled with because, let's face it, nobody wants to smell, okay? Well, it turns out there's actually a couple of components that could lead to the smell that we emit. And many people, as I learned when I got involved in this lifestyle, once you detox your armpits and you detox your body, I know lots of people that do not use deodorant at all and never stink. So the stink is caused by the clogging of the pores and the buildup of bacteria. Your sweat in itself actually has no scent, okay? It's the rapid multiplication of bacteria in the presence of sweat and then that bacteria breaking down that causes the smell. Okay, so if you can eliminate the bacteria, which is what most commercial brand deodorants do with chemicals, we can do that with essential oils and natural products, right? And the other component that someone would use a stick of deodorant for is the antiperspirant. And that part was the part that I struggled with until I found this particular recipe that includes an essential oil that I had never used before until I used this, and guess what? It acts as a natural antiperspirant. So if you take the moisture away and you eliminate the bacteria, you basically have no smell, right? So this is why you would want to use a natural version. Most deodorants contain 7 of the most toxic things that we tell you you should never have in your body, on your skin, anywhere near you, okay? Aluminum, which has been associated with Alzheimer's disease and estrogen disruption, prevalent in every over-the-counter deodorant, pretty much. Parabens, which are hormone disruptors. Steariths, which is an additive that has been proven to be carcinogenic. Triclosan. The reason that we teach you how to make your own homemade foaming soap is because we don't want you being exposed to triclosan. Guess what? When it's combined with water, it emits a gas. Do you know what that gas is? Chloroform. Yes, chloroform, which is also carcinogenic and incredibly toxic to you. Here's an idea. Let's put it in liquid hand soap. Duh. Why these things were even thought of, I don't know. Propylene glycol, which is the same ingredient in antifreeze, TEA and DEA, which affect your liver and kidneys in a very bad way, and artificial colors, which you've seen many of my videos before and you know are also carcinogenic. So here's the ingredient list, and I will post the actual recipe underneath because it's one of our bigger recipes. Most of the recipes that we make together, 3 ingredients, 4 ingredients, really simple. This has some extra additives, but I have found great success with it. And I'm actually adding in a couple of other oils this time because now I'm sort of playing with perfecting the scent so that it smells pretty too, okay? So what do you want? You need your coconut oil. You're gonna need 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, okay? You're gonna need 2 tablespoons of shea butter. And I order my organic shea butter on Amazon. And for those of you that are not familiar with it, here's a package. It's kind of a, it has a, I don't know what kind of consistency you would call that, kind of a coconut oily consistency. It's used in a lot of our DIY health and beauty products. And this is a 1 pound bag of raw organic shea butter that I have had for probably about a year now and used it in multiple recipes. So you need 2 tablespoons of that. 2 tablespoons of bentonite clay. And again, you want to make sure it's organic bentonite clay. I don't know how bentonite clay cannot be organic because it comes from the earth. But again, somebody could add something to it to try to, I don't know why they add things. Why add things? This is why we make our own stuff, right? So bentonite clay is a very fine powder. You can kind of see it on the end of my fingers there. It's kind of like flour, but it has a little bit of a different texture to it. used in American or Native American Indian traditions for years as a purifier, as a detoxifier. It's wonderful in your armpits. It's also fantastic in a bath. So if you wanted to take a bentonite clay bath, it helps detoxify and purify and pull all the impurities out of your skin. It's absolutely wonderful. 6 tablespoons of arrowroot powder. Now, I had never heard of arrowroot powder. Turns out my local grocery store has the organic version. It's basically like a starch flour that's used a lot in baking. So we're gonna need some arrowroot powder, regular baking soda, and then the original recipe called for 10 drops of our purification blend oil. By the way, this is one of the oils that comes in your starter set when you become a Young Living member and decide to shop with us instead of at all of the toxic places, okay? And then the oil that acted as the antiperspirant that I had never heard of as a natural antiperspirant is petitgrain. And petitgrain is actually the branch of an orange tree or something like that from Italy. So it smells a little orangey and woodsy. It's kind of an unusual scent, but I have to tell you, out of all the oils that I tried for their antiperspirant properties, for my personal body chemistry, this is the one that was a win-win, okay? Now this time, so the original recipe, 10 drops each of these, right? And then you sort of mix it all together with a hand mixer, right? Stick with it because it does take a little bit to mix it and get it into this sort of clay consistency. That's what you want. So it does take a little bit of mixing. I'm also, again, because now I'm trying to smell a little bit better or have a better smelling deodorant, I'm going to put some lavender in, especially this time of year. My skin is just generally dry everywhere on my body. Armpits, head, face, hands, feet. It's just a dry type of season. So lavender is very soothing and supportive to the skin. And so that's a good one to add. And then I'm also going to add some myrtle. Sorry, that's my dog barking. I'm also going to add some myrtle, which is also wonderful for scent. So I think I'm going to add about 5 drops of myrtle and 5 drops of lavender to the 10 drops each of the other oils. And then all you're going to do is you're going to combine them all in a bowl, right? You're going to use your hand mixer, mix it up really good. And here's the end of my container here. And I'm going to kind of show you. This is sort of the consistency. It does come out a gray color because of the bentonite clay. And it just kind of looks like this. And it's kind of like, almost like a clay mud. And that's the consistency that it comes out as. And just a pea-sized portion rubbed into each armpit each morning is how we make our deodorant. So that's sort of the newer version that I wanted to share. And don't worry, I will be sure to post the actual recipe with all of the ingredients in case you couldn't write it down fast enough under the post so that you can see it. So give it a try, order out those oils, and get rid of that toxic stuff in your armpits. Like, it drives me insane. Let's take all of the most toxic things, 7 of the 12 that we recommend that you never expose yourself to. 7 of the 12. Rub them in your armpit every day. That's just nuts. We don't need to do that. We have an easier, healthier way for you to make a deodorant on your own. Thanks, guys.